Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the United Stand. Mark is off tonight. He's currently driving somewhere, so he cannot do a show. Obviously, you've got me. It's a Friday night. I hope everyone's looking forward to the weekend. A bit of a break from the carnage and the chaos that has been Manchester United. You might have guessed it is sweltering here in the studio. Absolutely baking. I hope you're all enjoying the sun. Hope you're all ready for the weekend. Let me know what you're up to. This is an interactive show. I'll get your opinions. I'm in complete control of the chat tonight, so I'm going to bring up as much as possible of you guys and your comments and your questions to me about everything we're going to talk about. Not enough. That is the title of this video. It isn't enough. United falling short with their summer plans already. Not good enough. Doesn't matter who comes in or what ownership takes over Manchester United. We're already falling behind everybody. I want to talk about also some unrest in the United staff. There's a story in The Guardian regarding a lot of Manchester United staff worrying about their futures at the club. High up in the food chain staff, if you listen to what The Guardian is saying, some 800 people with no clarity, nothing. There's no transparency at all in what is going on with the takeover. No one is knowing. Obviously, if you watched yesterday, you would have seen Mark on with Ben Jacobs. He said there's going to be no exclusivity in any of the preferred bidders. So the staff at Manchester United have got no idea what's going on. I'm going to dive into that. I'm going to talk some more on that. But we're going to start tonight with what is going on at Manchester United. What is going wrong? Sorry if everyone is a bit mixed up with the times of the video as well. We are doing a 7 o'clock one tonight because, like I said, Mark is out. He's away. So I'm doing this one. We had a bit of a mix-up in the setup. So if it is saying 8 o'clock and you're thinking I've just started way, way too early, no, that's just on us. Sorry about that, everyone. But I'm sure people will feed through as we get on. United failing. Let's get into it. Kim Min Jae now looking at, I'm going to start with this, with Romano and what he's just come out with in the last hour regarding Kim Min Jae actually agreeing personal terms almost with Bayern Munich. How quick did that happen? All I've heard since the season has ended is Manchester United are in pole position for Kim Min Jae. Where have I heard that story before? United looking favourites. United in pole position. United look set too. United monitoring, United to miss out. It just goes down, down, down. Cue the Queen music. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, it is. Kim Min Jae is the next player this summer to actually hit the dust. Kane, Kim Min Jae, it's all going wrong for Manchester United already. Who is left? Who are we in for? Because we're talking about players here that Manchester United could be going for, and these players I'm looking at are looking set to go to other clubs already. It's looking nailed on. I mean, I'm looking at Arsenal giving up on Caicedo because they're going all in for Declan Rice. Declan Rice, already a bid of 80 million turned down. I can see United going 80 million on anyone right now. Obviously, we heard the news about Rasmus Højlund and Atalanta's stupid hiking prices because they know there's big clubs interested to that same price again, 80 million. United ain't going anywhere near that. So it poses the question. And obviously, if you watch shows today, Matt was talking about De Gea, and Beth was obviously doing her video on De Gea as well. That's another player that falls under this category of not enough. Kim Min Jae is pretty much set. When Bayern Munich put their name to a player, or when Romano comes out and says that personal terms are nearly agreed, Bayern Munich are willing to pay the buyout clause, which actually starts on 1st of July. We know this. It's been reported. We know that United have been interested in this. And the news that came out the other day, there was a bit of a discrepancy in the actual buyout, which was the low turnover clubs. So clubs that don't turn over as much money pay 42 million. And then clubs with a bigger turnover, i.e. the big guns like United and Bayern Munich, would pay 60 million. Well, apparently Bayern are all in on that 60 million and are fully willing to pay that buyout clause and take Kim Min Jae to the Bundesliga, which leaves us with another defensive option out the window. Another worry that we might be keeping certain players that we know are not good enough this season. Everyone I'm hearing at the moment who's been linked with United is a player that isn't necessarily going to go right into that first team. Again, I keep saying it. United needed summer signings this summer, which are going to not just compete, but going to command a place in that starting lineup. I'm talking about the Casemiros, the Martinez, the summer that we had last summer. These players now, we've gone so far with the squad we've got. We need players that are going to actually improve the first team. Never mind the squad. We need first-team players. Some of them first-team players are not good enough at Manchester United. It's why we finished third and why we finished so short. It's why we couldn't beat City in the final and we failed in Seville. We didn't have enough players, didn't have the quality. And when players got injured, we struggled, like we did with Maguire when he dropped us in it against Seville, along with David De Gea. But you look at it and you go, no, again, not enough. So that squad needs improving. The first team needs improving first. I feel like some of them players are good enough squad players, but we need players to come in now that are going to replace them in the first team. That's going to be our first team. And we are going to keep certain players. It's like the whole story behind De Gea. He doesn't want to be number 2. And I think this is the whole reason why he is actually looking like he's going to be leaving Manchester United. We'll talk on him more in a minute. But Kim Min Jae, I thought, and I've said it, and I've been on videos here on United Stand. They've been clipped up. I'm all over social media saying I feel like he would come into this team and improve our defence. He would want to nail down a first team place. That's what he would want to do. Kim Min Jae wouldn't be coming to Manchester United for anything else but first team football. I think that's what he'll demand at Bayern. I think they've probably told him that he will get first team football as well. And we've missed out. We just slow off the mark again. And again, go back to the thumbnail. Not enough. Not enough for Manchester United because we've seen it. It's not enough in terms of what we're doing in the transfer window. And the first team isn't enough right now. Proven. 3rd in the league. It's the best we're going to get with that squad. Kim Min Jae would have definitely challenged, I think, Rafael Varane for that challenge, for that spot. And the reason why I thought Kim Min Jae was going to come to Manchester United was simply because he knows under Erik ten Hag that if you take your opportunity, then you're going to keep your place in that team. If you play well, you're going to stay in the team. Scott McTominay started off well and kept Casemiro out. We had no issue with that at all. In some big games as well. I mean, we had one point where we had Maguire, Lindelof and Martinez sat on the bench and Luke Shaw was taking centre-back spot ahead of 3 international centre-backs. So you look at it and you go, well, he's going to get a chance. We had every opportunity. The player probably wanted to play under Erik ten Hag. It's not Erik ten Hag's fault, though. Again, it's Manchester United. Not enough. Not enough proactivity and not enough people in positions right now. Like I said, people worrying about the jobs. Who is doing anything right now at Manchester United? What is going on behind the scenes? It is a world of uncertainty. And I'm not surprised that we're going to be talking about United staff worrying about their positions at the club later in this show, because that's where we're at. Kim Min Jae, 1. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that today. That's come out in the last hour. Another Manchester United target gone. So that's him and Kane. And obviously, we're talking about Mason Mount. Not enough. Not enough for Mason Mount. If we can't nail down Mason Mount, then I haven't got much hope for any signing this summer. I'm running out of people who I would have thought are on our list. I'm running out of names. I'm running out of key names here. I'm thinking the midfield area, we ain't got a chance of signing Caicedo and Declan Rice. Mason Mount is the next one down for me from them two. And a lot of people have a big opinion on Declan Rice, but I do think that Declan Rice would be a great player for Manchester United. And I'm looking at all our rivals right now, actually improving their squad and getting better players than what they've got. They're buying first-team players. First-team players, that's it. And I can see there, it's like people saying straight away, Rabiot. And I mean, I said so I missed that one there. I'm sorry. Yeah, Rabiot, that's exactly the sort of player that I can see United going for now. And I'm not saying Rabiot's a bad player, but I'm just looking at it going, not enough. Not enough, not enough. That is Manchester United right now. We're not doing enough. Everyone else is getting better. If Arsenal are going to spend 80+ million on Declan Rice, and we're hearing that Manchester City are in for Declan Rice. So anyone who doesn't think that Declan Rice is good enough, you've got the top 2 in the Premier League who ran away with it pretty much all season, both vying for his signature. So don't come to me that Declan Rice isn't good enough for Manchester United. He's better than players we've got in that starting lineup. Let's be honest. He is, and he will improve our team. But it's by the by because we're not in for him. We can't afford Declan Rice. So there's another one. Like I said, Caicedo. Who's that open up for now? Chelsea. We're buying a Chelsea player that can't get in the team, and they're buying a player that Manchester United, who finished 3rd, should be buying. Caicedo should be top of Manchester United's transfer list, or a player of that. I know I'm going to come back down to it, and I'm going to say, I trust in Erik ten Hag. I trust that he's the player that he wants in Mason Mount, and if the manager wants him, I want him. I've said that all along, but there are better players. We know there are better players. And Ten Hag has come out and said it. He's protecting his position and he's going to come out and back the club. We know what it's like. It's the manager's role at Manchester United to do this. You know the script, you know the score. He's going to come out. He's going to protect the club. He's going to protect his position. He's going to say he wanted Mason Mount. And you can see it all. You can see the old PR spin on it. I'm not saying Mason Mount isn't a good player, but he isn't the answer for us, I don't think. I think he's going to improve us a little bit. I think he's possibly an upgrade on Christian Eriksen in terms of how much he can last through a season. I think he's got better energy, which is what Manchester United are looking for and what Ten Hag is looking for especially. We need more better midfielders and midfielders that can last 90 minutes because Eriksen clearly was blowing, wasn't he? Let's be honest. He was blowing towards the back end of the season and he was struggling to keep his form up. He was lost in the final and it just looked like it was a step too far for him. Mason Mount, I mean, is he much better? Would we know? I don't know. I'm worrying about Mason Mount because he's been out for 2 months with a pelvis injury and he's hardly played. This is what we're looking at right now. Is that the type of player United should be going for? I say no. We need to be going for the surefire thing. We need to be going for a player like Caicedo, like Declan Rice, like Harry Kane, Osimhen, anyone like that. And I know money is tight, but when you look at what we've got to spend, and the rumour is it now, I mean, we were told on United Stand the budget is round about squeezing 200 million. We can spend about that much this summer. That is first-class striker, first-class midfielder. That's what you've got with Manchester United's budget this summer. If it's only them two players, then it has to be. It has to be them two players. Buy the best in class in them two positions. It will make Manchester United stronger and it will take us further in challenging for that Premier League title. But if it's squad players again and potential and players that might not cut it, we're going to be exactly where we are this season. And other teams are going to come up behind us like Chelsea, like Liverpool, and they're going to be challenging us for that top 4 spot. Instead of us being in the mix where we need to be next season, which is in the top 2 and challenging, because that is the only way we can go. When you break it down, Manchester United right now, after this season, a trophy in 3rd, where is the next to go? 2nd, 3rd, 2nd or 1st, that's it. And that means challenging for the title. That's where Manchester United needs to be. That's where our target needs to be. And that's where Ten Hag and the way he speaks is saying United should be. It's plain. It's simple. We know what Ten Hag wants. We know he's going to be probably shackled and he's probably going to be gagged a little bit in terms of what he can say and what he can do. But this is where we're at. The ownership and everything like that will come. It is coming. And more than likely will be some news and some clarity on who is actually going to take the Manchester United mantle, be the owner of Manchester United. We're going to find out very, very soon, but it's still not going to change where we are right now. And we're talking about the club and the structure and everything that comes with it. Super chat in from Pritesh says, worst part is this is such a target-rich transfer market, especially in defence and midfield. We still wouldn't be able to sign anyone good. 100% agree with that super chat comment there because it is rich with talent and players who Manchester United are crying out for. Mason Mount, I think, is a good player. He is. But if you're spending upwards of 50 million on Mason Mount, I'm ditching that and I'm going all in on Caicedo. Does it not make sense? And people can say you're playing FIFA and you're playing Championship Manager here. It's not that simple. Well, it is that simple. We have got the money to buy that midfielder, which will change everything at Manchester United. You can see a midfield three of Bruno, Caicedo, and Casemiro. I'm like, oh my God, you're like, oh my God. You're lining up with them players and you're going, wow, I'm confident. I'm winning this game. That engine in that midfield added to Bruno's flair and creativity and the control and experience of Casemiro. Is it not perfect? Everyone on this show, I'm pretty certain when we've done transfer panels, which we are doing all summer, guys, as well. So do stay tuned for them. They are loads of fun. We did one with Beth, Angry Ginge, and Faz the other day. It was absolutely brilliant. And everyone is in the same boat in terms of that midfield area. It's swayed, hasn't it, from that striker because we know there's no one available now in budget. So we're all looking at the midfielders. People are saying too much for Caicedo. Too much for Caicedo. It was too much for Anthony. It was too much for Martinez. Why are we spending 60 million on Casemiro? It was too much, and it's always been too much. Well, no, it's not. Because too much for a player It's only worth what someone is going to pay. There's never too much for a player if it's a first-team player coming into that first team who is genuinely and guaranteed going to be an improvement on what you've got. My issue is, does Mason Mount command the first-team spot for 60 million, which it looks like we're going to end up stupidly spending, when you can get a guaranteed starter for 20 million more in Caicedo, and you could probably sell Fred or McTominay or Donny van der Beek and make that happen and still have enough money in the bag to get a striker. That's what I mean. That's where I'm going with it, because I feel like that is more than doable with what we've got right now. 100% more than doable. First transfer market without a returning rumour for Ronaldo. Yeah, that's right, John. Definitely. Ten Hag knows this. Ten Hag knows this is why we're going for Rabiot. I mean, there we go again. I mean, let's bring in Rabiot, because all of a sudden Manchester United could have two better midfielders than, say, Fred and McTominay and Donny van der Beek for 60 million combined. And they'll probably try and spin it as getting Mason Mount and Rabiot into Manchester United for 60 million. And that's pretty decent business. It is. All I'm saying is, in the most positive outlook season we've had since Sir Alex Ferguson, under Eric Ten Hag, it's got so much promise and potential to move forward from here, this team, this squad under Eric Ten Hag. Is it not worth this summer just going, you know what? If there was a summer ever, we need to try and twist rules, make things happen, spend more if we have to. It's this one. Back in the Champions League with big guns who are going to spend fortunes behind us, threatening us in Liverpool, Chelsea. You know what I mean? Villa are going to get stronger as well. Newcastle are going to be there again, spending money. Is it not worth this summer actually just solidifying us in that top four and helping us move to that next step by getting Ten Hag the best in class? There are best in class out there available. Are we willing to break the bank? That's my question to Manchester United. Are you willing to back the first manager that's looked like we've got a plan and has changed the culture and has got the fan base back on side? Because there isn't one manager who's done that since Sir Alex Ferguson. And you can count them down and tell me and build up a case for each one of them. But there's not. There hasn't been this promise. There hasn't been a defensive solidity in our team like there has under Eric Ten Hag. There hasn't been that threat. There hasn't been players improving on the pitch like there's been under Eric Ten Hag. There hasn't been any manager that's done that. You look at it now. Mason Mount, Rabiot, someone's putting Timber in the chat there. Lavia. These players there that are good, but I'm not talking Lavia. Does Lavia walk into our first team? No. Don't want him. I do, but I want him behind another top-class midfielder. I don't want to be walking onto that midfield. So walking onto opening day, Monday night against Wolves, I do not want to see, no disrespect, and I mean this in the most positive way possible, I don't want to see Bruno, Casemiro and Eriksen in a midfield three. That's taken us so far. It's taken us to where we are now. We need someone else. We need someone better. I feel in Bruno and Casemiro, we're okay. Eriksen, like I said, he's brilliant on his day. Absolutely fantastic. But that day is few and far between towards the back end of the season. I know the injury probably hampered him a little bit. And I'm probably being slightly unfair on Eriksen in this because he's had a very, very good season. And he has been a massive positive for Ten Hag, especially on a free transfer. You cannot complain. But I'm just talking about backing the manager. That's what we've got to do right now. We have to back Eric Ten Hag with best in class. And I just feel like, does Rabiot come in ahead of Eriksen? Does Mason Mount come in ahead of Eriksen? If we had a chance right now, I would put that poll up for you guys to see what you thought. I mean, I think Rabiot starts ahead of Eriksen and probably Mount on his day. So I could be contradicting myself a little bit in what I'm saying, but I just feel like there is better than both Mount and Rabiot in that position that we can go and buy. That's what I'm saying. Adam, do you think our transfer is coming? Sorry, do you think our transfer is coming season? Do you think? Who do I think our transfers are going to be? I think you meant to say there. Sorry about that. It was probably a bit of a typo on your side there, mate. But yeah, who do I think our transfers are going to be this season? I think we'll go with that one. Pretty much the players that we talked about there, I would say. I can see Rabiot. I can. 28, excellent season on the Juve. A free transfer, again, I mean, that quality of player on a free transfer does not come around often. It's usually Juventus, believe it or not, who actually find these free transfers. They are the master of free transfers, aren't they? And it could be them losing one of their players for nothing, one of their better performers. I think he's had the opportunity because Paul Pogba's been injured all season. So, yeah, I think Rabiot is definitely a target. I do believe we will end up getting Mason Mount because Chelsea desperately need to get rid of players. I think there will be some deal struck there for Mason Mount, and I think we will. I think we will end up buying him. I don't think Sabitzer will stay. I don't think Weghorst will stay. It's what we've got left then. If we're saying we've got 200 million, United get what they need to get done. We get Rabiot in, we get Mason Mount in. Alavia, it could well be. But then players in, we've got more than enough then to go out and buy best in class in forward, in my opinion. We are just going to have to just go and do something crazy. I feel like this is this because as good as it's going to be under new owners, Manchester United from this point forward are going to be restricted by financial fair play. The books will be balanced and we will have a clean slate. We're going to earn back that what is it, every season that we're spending near 70 million to finance our debt. That will come back into the transfer kitty. I think we've talked with many journalists who've been on the show recently and have said that in terms of what we will get. Financial fair play is not going away, people. I've said this on so many shows, right? And I don't know if everyone's listened. I don't know if people have missed certain shows when I've said it, but you have to get your head around the fact that it doesn't matter if Sheikh Jassim takes over tomorrow. Manchester United are still going to have the same budget. Yes, we're going to have plenty of money to make Manchester United better, but in terms of the transfers, we're not. We're just not. It's going to be a mental summer because, like it's been reported, the agent cap on fees and what they can take out of player purchases from club to club. You're not allowed now to represent a club and a player in the same transfer for agents. These are all changing in October of this year as well. So the agents right now, we're going to go, we cannot make as much money after October. So we're going to go absolutely mental this summer and try and move as many players as possible and make as much money well we can. Make hay while the sun shines. That's what we're saying with agents right now. So expect a lot of shaking and moving this summer. I think we'll see volume rather than big sales, than big fees. There'll be lots of players making moves. I think that's where we're going to be. Darren Mulaney with super chats. Do we need a number one keeper and a keeper to compete against each other? Well, it's like I compare the goalkeepers at every single club to Formula One. There's a driver, and we know who the main driver is, and then there's the side act. It's always the case, and no matter what team owner tells you in terms of Formula One, they're both competing. We let them race. It's bollocks, isn't it? Let's be honest. There's one man in every team, and you know that guy is going to be the one that wins the title. If it's neck and neck, and they're both on the podium, they're both coming down the last straight. I'm talking about in racing here. They're both coming down the back end of the track, and it's 1 and 2. We know who number one is going to be. Let's be honest. Come on. Unless that person is feeling generous because he's so far away in the championship and so many points ahead, then he lets his teammate actually get a win. But that's how I see it. There has to be an outstanding keeper, and then there's the make weight. Every club is the same. You can't have two keepers competing. Manchester United are thinking they're the exception to the rule with this. How we thought we were going to keep Henderson and De Gea. And this is why De Gea is going, because he knows he ain't going to be number one. Ten Hag, we know, has sat down with every single player and he's told every one of them players face-to-face what his plans are for next season. David De Gea has had this same conversation, and this is why he hasn't signed the deal. The deal is on the table. It's less money than what he was on and no guarantee that he is going to get first-team action. So that's why he's not signed it. He's waiting for that deal to go to Spain. He wants to go back to Spain. That was reported by Mark Ogden of ESPN. That move he's waiting for, it's not come about. He's got an offer on the table from the Saudis, and that is a possibility, probably quadruple the money that Manchester United have offered him, no doubt. But it's the end. It's his last big contract, I feel, and United have not offered him enough. Not enough. There's that title again. Our longest-serving player right now has not been offered enough money to extend his deal. I'm all for it, to be honest. I respect David De Gea. I think he deserves respect. I think he should be let go by the club on a free transfer, just out of respect for him and what he's done and the service he's gave to Manchester United. United should not be clamoring around for last bits of pocket change for David De Gea. We should not be extending that deal for one more year. We should just let David De Gea go wherever he wants. Say thank you, farewell, time to move on. His time at United has been fruitful for him. He has won a lot. I think he's won every domestic trophy and UEFA Cup. Bloody hell, the Europa League. So he has won a lot at United. It's been successful. He's been player of the season numerous times for United. So he will look back on his career at Manchester United and go, I am, and I was one of United's number ones. And for me, if anyone else is coming in now, it's going to be a number one keeper. There's no mate-weight keeper coming into Manchester United. Your preference, people, who do you want? I mean, let's not even talk about Pickford. No, that ain't happening for me. And Pickford won't be a number two. He wants to be England's number one. The Euros are coming up. So why would Pickford come to United knowing that he's going to be number two? Let's just put that aside. That ain't going to happen. He's not stupid. Henderson was number two at United and got nowhere near that England number one spot. So, yeah, we know under Southgate that you have to be playing games. So Pickford, let's put him aside. Onana, well, there you go. I think that basically is an ideal signing for Erik ten Hag. He's worked with him before. Obviously, he's had his misdemeanors sent on from the World Cup. He's had a lot of issues behind the scenes, but we know success followed him with Erik ten Hag. Pretty much like Martinez and Antony. Everyone who plays under ten Hag just wants to follow him. That's all it seems. Especially from the Dutch league, from the Eredivisie. I think there's players from there. I mean, you look at it, Malacia, he came from there, Martinez, Antony. Players just like to play under ten Hag. They like the manager. And I think we've got another one in Onana here. I think he plays the way we need to play. He was playing pretty much as a holding midfielder in that game in the Champions League final for long periods for Inter. It was actually funny how he was taking the ball past his centre-backs and then spraying it out wide to the winger. He is a good goalkeeper. I think he's an excellent goalkeeper. And I think he is that sort of move for United where we need to go. It's that next step, that next type of keeper. We don't usually get a player that stays at a club for 12 years like De Gea. He's been a fantastic servant for Manchester United, and he has played under some crap defences and deserves all the praise he gets from everyone who loves him. But it is time to move on to a different type of goalkeeper. Yeah, every keeper is going to make mistakes, and then when that keeper makes that mistakes, everyone's going to come back and go, well, I told you about De Gea. You were slagging De Gea off for doing the same thing. I mean, everyone was bigging up Ederson in the Champions League final. The man could have lost the Champions League final for City in the first half. Lucky for him, he pretty much won it for him in the second half, and no one remembers these big mistakes that he made in that first half. This is what it is. This is what it is with keepers. They're going to make mistakes. It's going to get highlighted. We talked about it on the show the other day with Angry Ginge. He's saying the same thing. It's the last line of defence, and it's scrutinised more than any other mistake from any other position in the team. So, yeah, there you go. That's just what you're dealing with. But I feel like Onana, I feel he's good on the ball. He's confident on the ball. He claims and commands his box. All better things than what De Gea does. I think he's a good shot stopper as well. And I just feel like if there was one goalkeeper available and Ten Hag had to go out and get a keeper, then it would be him. We're being told that Manchester United's budget is pushing at a stretch 200 million this summer, and it wasn't in buying a goalkeeper. Ten Hag wanted to keep David De Gea, but he wasn't going to promise him any first-team action. It kind of contradicts itself a little bit, because if De Gea goes, Henderson goes to Nottingham Forest. Sorry, if De Gea stays, Henderson goes to Nottingham Forest, which we're expecting to happen, then the guy coming in, we are going to have to bring a goalkeeper in, aren't we? And if he wants him to compete with De Gea, then De Gea's not going to go for it. And neither is the keeper coming in if he's got anything about him. It's pointless having two make weights. You need a top dog, and then you need a make weight. That's what you need. Another super chat in from Sid says, and then I had a drug charge against him. Will United go near him? Also, with the ownership, I feel we will have a mad a la Chelsea once Qataris get in October. Yeah. I'll leave that one there. I'm probably reading that completely wrong there, whatever it was. But I did get the actual gist of what you said. It's going to be crazy times. But unless United can be clever like Chelsea was, then we ain't going to spend big. I think 200 million definitely. I think it's more than adequate, because that would be 200 million two summers in a row. And I think we can get good players for that money. Definitely in the positions we need anyway. So, Mad January, got you. Mad January, I mean, I'm not for it. I don't like spending loads of money in January. But yeah, I mean, to round up the first half hour of the show, not enough money to keep De Gea. He's not happy with it. Not enough money to buy Mason Mount in terms of our first bid. And Kim Min Jae, too slow off the mark. Not enough in United being proactive and making that happen when it was there on a plate. He now looks set, according to Fabrizio Romano, to be signing for Bayern Munich. The deal is almost done, personal terms almost agreed. And when Bayern put their name in a hat, you know the writing's usually on the wall. And not many players turn Bayern down. It's weird. It is weird. It's what United used to be like. It's what we need to get back to. And until the ownership is sorted, which moves us on to the next bit, then it is going to be the uncertainty. There's a story in The Guardian that I wanted to talk about regarding Manchester United staff, and staff being very worried about their futures, their roles at the football club. Some 800 staff members at Manchester United actually concerned with their positions at the club, what's going on, because there's no transparency at all. And like what Ben Jacobs was saying to Mark on the show yesterday, is that no one is going to get that exclusivity. No one is going to get that. So that means that no one at Manchester United is going to know what is going on. And that then just puts it into a place where they're like, well, what is going on? You'd be worried, wouldn't you, if you're a United staff member right now? Sheikh Jazim could come in and turn everything upside down. No one knows. The staff are not going to get told the plans. The staff are just waiting and worrying, basically. And, that could mean Arnold. That could mean Murto. I mean, when you look at the books, and anyone who's buying a football club, so the due diligence is being done by Sheikh Jazim, Sir Jim Radcliffe, whoever it is, they're going to look at them books and they're going to see the failings. They are going to see that as a football club and in football matters, Manchester United have failed miserably. They'll look at City, they'll look at Chelsea, they'll look at Liverpool, being able to spend under financial fair play. Well, not City, let's not bring them under financial fair play, because they obviously have a lot of charges hanging over their head, as well as the unchallenged 30 million fees that they've had to pay, fines that they've had to pay. I mean, no smoke without fire, City, is there? And why would you pay 30 million in fines if you was innocent? That's all I'm saying on that one. But yeah, Chelsea found a way to do it, but they managed to get money for their players. So I'm looking at Manchester United as a potential owner. I'm going to buy the football club. I'm looking at it going, right, okay, where's the sporting director? Do I need to change the whole structure of Manchester United? We've not managed to make profit on any player purchases. I think we've got 4 in the last, 20 years or something like that? Ouch. How has a club like Manchester United got themselves in this position where we are so poor? We used to bring through our own players, and they would be the core of Manchester United. And we used to just bring in the players that we needed, handpick the players. Sir Alex Ferguson used to do it for years. He was just like, right, I've got this core of youth players, got this. I just need to get a best in class for this. I'll go and get that player. I'll go and get that player. It was like when he brought Michael Carrick in. It was just like, bang, dropped him in. When he went and got Anderson, Hargreaves, and Nani, it was like Tevez. It's like perfect for what we were doing and what that team needed in that summer. And look what happened when we bought them players. There's a trophy at the end of it. This is how we used to run. And if you're looking at Manchester United, you're going, wow, Falcao, Di Maria, Rojo, all these types of players. I mean, Zlatan worked for the season. They'll be looking at it and going, where was the structure? What's been going on here? And if there's any staff members still here and you're investing a record amount of money for a sports enterprise, anything like this, Manchester United, any sporting franchise, anything like that, if you're investing that amount of money, then you are going to want to put staff in place that you know and you can trust can run the football club, because you're not going to put your money in for nothing. Yeah, you want to see a little bit of return. Manchester United can run on their own. We know what money we can generate. And that's all we seem to be fixated on over the last God knows how many years since Felix Ferguson left. Ed Woodward has basically just destroyed this football club in how he's run it, football matter-wise. Hearing a lot of players come out and talk about the hierarchy at Manchester United. Everyone's got an issue with it. I mean, I remember listening to what Rojo said. I remember Evra, what he said about Ed Woodward. There's been a lot of problems going on. And like we said, that Richard Arnold, John Murtaugh, I mean, I think they've done an all right job in terms of bringing players in. Over the last couple of transfer windows, we've had some good windows and bought players that I think have improved Manchester United, or the players we should have been buying. But ultimately, their big challenge is this summer, and that's getting players out of the door. This is like for Arnold and Murtaugh, this is like a test. This is a trial for any ownership coming in. And this is why I'm saying that in this video, not enough is being done. We're not proactive. Not enough in terms of money being offered, not enough in terms of action. Murtaugh and Arnold need to be getting rid of players. That is the biggest challenge. No, Sivert. There has been no announcement on the ownership yet. Shut up. Everyone waiting. Bated breath on that one. But yeah, I mean, Maguire, McTominay, Fred, Donny van der Beek, the youth players that are lingering around at the moment that aren't doing enough, players that aren't contributing to the club at all, that are costing us a fortune. Yes, we're seeing the back of Phil Jones. Yes, Axel Tuanzebe. Not a bad start, but the longer this goes on and the longer we get into the summer, in less than 2 weeks, we're going to be in July. And in July, at the end of July, obviously, we've got the tour. And then nothing happens while we're on tour, usually, in terms of helping the manager out. There's a lot to do. And for me, I'd be worried as a Manchester United member of staff. Because let's be honest, in certain positions in this club, you've failed. And the books will show. The books will show these potential owners that Manchester United have not been run properly for a number of years on the pitch. Yes, in what we've done as a brand, in what we've done with merchandise and everything like that, we have earned an absolute fortune. But where has that money gone? It's gone and wasted on players. We've spent as much as Manchester City. We don't need billionaires to take over Manchester United. We just need no debt. We need no debt and a structure in place that Manchester United can run and run itself, and it will run well. No one has got the reach and the brand that Manchester United have got. It is an absolute gold mine. Sorry. And this is what we're talking about. I had Jamie Jackson on from The Guardian the other day, and he was saying he spoke to one of the directors at Manchester United a few years ago, pre-pandemic, and he said the Glazers valued Manchester United at 10 billion plus because they knew what they could get out of this football club. They knew the finances and what was possible. And that's where they're at. That is where they're at with it. And that's how they see it. Manchester United will definitely bring in value, bring in money for anyone who takes over. You're not going to buy United and lose money. That's what we're saying. United generate it for fun. And if I was one of them Manchester United members of staff right now, I'd be looking at it. I'd be a bit worried. I'd be worried if I was Richard Arnold. I'd be worried with Murtaugh. I'm not surprised a lot of the staff have left this summer. Some big names have gone. Obviously, Woodward, Judd, the head scouting team, both gone. I think they've been there for like 18 years. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be devastated. I'm going to open it up to you guys now as well. Let me know what you think. Any questions? Players that you think Manchester United should be bringing in? Are you happy with where we're at right now in terms of the squad going forward? Do you expect it to go a bit crazy right now? We should take Toby Bow, Timber, and Diassi. What happened to Kim Young? If anyone is just joining right now, the news is Kim Min Jae is in advanced talks with Bayern Munich. Fabrizio Romano broke that about an hour ago now. Almost personal terms agreed. Very, very close. Bayern Munich pretty much got their hands on Kim Min Jae. Another transfer target for United gone. In the last decade, Chelsea have made a profit on player sales of almost 700 million. United, 130 million. It's laughable. Exact point that I was making. Sancho for 60 million needs to go, says Theo Fitness. Centre back at Bayern rotate often. Probably that is why we got guaranteed first team play. I mean, the rotation now Bayern Munich work. I mean, that's up to them and how they rotate their players. But Manchester United had an opportunity there. That's the be all and end all of it. They had the opportunity. They could have stole the match. They could have made it clear, agreed personal terms, got Kim Min Jae through the door as soon as 1st of July hit. But Bayern Munich are going to do just that now. It's the same old story. Miss out on top targets, and we end up with B, C, D targets. City, Liverpool, and Arsenal and Chelsea all will race past us. I mean, that's what I said before, and that is the ultimate worry. And I do fear that. I mean, that is my biggest fear, that we are slow off the mark. The positive side of the new ownership coming in and the Glazers going is there. And you know what? We probably would have taken that 2 years ago if you offered it us, finishing third. New manager, good players, half-decent football, Glazers leaving, would have snatched your hand off. But we've had a sneak glimpse of what Ten Hag can do. All we need to do now is just give him the tools to make it better, even better. Financially, as said, let me just bring that one up there. Financial has said that Sir Jim Ratcliffe has pulled out. I've not seen any of that. I don't know. Let me see if anything is breaking. Hopefully, I will find out if anything is breaking on that, but I've not heard anything myself. England are about to start, aren't they? God. Who cares? It's sad that this window seems to be a terrible one for United already, but somehow I feel hopeful for the future with Qatar. Last Glazer window, finally. Yeah, that is one good point. That is one good point. We have to look at it that way. It is going to be the last window where there's any sort of input from the Glazers. There's going to be no more hampering going forward. It is going to be Manchester United money that is being spent where it needs to be spent on infrastructure, players, and making Manchester United better. That's what it is. The way United is run is such a joke. It's scary. Yep, it is. Will be Timber after he was at the cup final. Obvious. I mean, I would have preferred Kim Min Jae. I would. But, I mean, Timber's a good player. Another player we know was worked well under Erik Ten Hag. So I'm looking. There's nothing coming through yet. Is Jim Radcliffe go to come? When can we expect some sale updates? Great show. Cheers. Sale updates could be over the weekend. Could well be on Monday. I think we are getting to the stage now. I think everyone knows, and obviously people when Company House went live with the actual 9-2 Foundation's public, or they made it public basically that they were trading in England, 9-2 Foundation Limited. So when that happened, everyone got a little bit wild. It went a bit crazy the other day, but yeah, it was sort of like dampened down a little bit. But I mean, I've had someone who works at Company House message me, believe it or not, and said it was only done on the 15th of July. It wasn't done a while ago. So who do you believe? Who do you believe? It's like Ben Jacobs was saying with Mark the other day. It's like you can only report on the truth from when you go and speak to the people that have come out with things, get the story off them. You can only report what is there in front of you. Why would you report false news? It's only going to backfire on you. So we know that everything is in place, and we know that Sheikh Jassim is fully committed to Manchester United. I think what we're doing now, we're just waiting for that announcement, and then we just got to go through the painful bit of waiting around for it to be completely confirmed. I think we'll know who the preferred bidder is. That will be the next announcement. And then we just have to wait for it all to be finalised. Checks done. Due diligence done. Premier League, obviously, fit and proper and persons test and everything like that. I think that's all to come. Qatar is coming. Yes, I think it is, mate, to be honest. Kim Min Jae never got mentioned before this summer. It was actually mentioned last season. So, yeah. He was a target of Manchester United. Apparently, we were tracking him, but we're going to lose him to Bayern Munich. So, no more point. Show me the Qatar. Side pass Maguire at it again. Has it kicked off? Has England actually kicked off? Yeah, it has. Yes. Just reading a few things coming out now. Romano obviously just saying Manchester United's investment on new goalkeeper will depend on David De Gea negotiations outcome. Negotiations are pretty much done, aren't they? I mean, if they give up and give De Gea what he wants, then it's not a good sign, I don't think, for Manchester United. It really isn't. I don't think that is the right direction to go in. I really don't. But Adam, do you know who Jasper Carlson is? A winger from Alkmaar. Heard MCU have been scouting him. No, I don't know enough about the player. Again, it's a potential signing, isn't it? I'm all for potential signings, but to be honest, I want proven. I want ready to go, ready to rock players, and they're going to improve United straight away. Otherwise, we're just going to be where we are. We're going to be where we are. This squad isn't good enough to challenge for the title. It's as simple as that. We're going to lose squad depth with no sign of anyone coming in yet. So I expect things just to go a little bit crazy. I'm going to try and keep a positive head on it and think that Manchester United are working on deals. But the more I look at it, the more I start to get that little bit of anxiety creeping in of like, who are United going to buy? Because everyone else who we're all thinking about is just seem to be dropping off and drifting away. There are players there to go and get them. But as it stands, it's not enough from United. And on that bombshell, we are going to finish up the stream. Cheers, everyone, for tuning in. Sorry about the mishap at the start. I'm not giving you guys notice of the video, but cheers for hanging in there and making a show with me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will be back tomorrow. Matt will be back on Saturday. Hopefully, you all have a great weekend as well. So I'll leave you with that. The update on the ownership may come this weekend. Will United get any confirmation, or will we get any confirmation of players coming in? De Gea, there's a lot to come. I feel like it could be an interesting weekend. So stay tuned to United Stands. Hit that bell notification button alongside the subscribe button so you know when the videos are coming out. Anything drops, we are instantly on it. There's no timetable, guys, so stay tuned. Hit that bell notification because you're going to need it. It's about to kick off. But for now, I'm out of here. Have a good weekend, everyone. I will see you. I'll probably see you on Sunday because I am covering on Sunday. So I'll see you then.